What's up, guys and girls? This is Razor here, giving you some Modern Warfare 3 gameplay, hardcore dom, using just my Skorpion because, I like using different types of guns. Give myself an extra challenge by using just a secondary weapon, and to top it off, I'm putting a red dot on it instead of something that helps me like dual wield or extended mags. So yeah, I'm just gonna be using the Skorpion with the specialist streak, so I can use this puppy as much as I can. I might have to use my primary when I run out of ammo, but it's a shitty primary that's actually worse than a secondary weapon, which is really annoying. I understand that not all of like the machine pistols are overpowered, but like the FMG9, the MP9 are really strong and you can use as a primary. And they're both much better than the PM9. Like, secondary weapons should never be stronger than the primary weapons, but an easy way to make that an easy fix is to not have really shitty primary weapons that are worse than secondaries. But that's just whatever. I like playing this way, but the only way I could use a secondary only, or say the AA-12, I have to use scavenger in order to keep resupplying my ammo so I can keep using whatever gun that I want. That's the only way I can play the game this way. And if I'm using the AA-12 or the Skorpion, I need scavenger to replenish my ammo so I don't run out, but I also need sleight of hand, so I need to run specialist, which is okay. It's okay, there's nothing wrong with running specialist. I get to grab a couple extra perks. But in say Modern Warfare 2, for instance, I did not have this option. If I wanted to just use a Raffica, I would have to use scavenger, and that had a decent amount of ammo, and you could put extended mag, so that didn't really hurt it that often. But let's say I wanted to use just a USP-45. I couldn't run scavenger and sleight of hand, so that kind of sucked. In Black Ops, scavenger and sleight of hand were in different perk tier slots, so I could pretty much use whatever gun that I wanted. Because scavenger could resupply it and sleight of hand could keep those reloads coming. So with that combo together, I didn't have to run it. I couldn't run out of ammo very easily. And in Modern Warfare 3, the only way to do this would be to run specialist so that I could have scavenger and sleight of hand, because once again, it's in the same perk tier 1 slot. And thankfully for Black Ops 2, this is not something I have to worry about, because sleight of hand is not a perk. It is an attachment called fast mag. So that's going to be really cool in Black Ops. I don't have to worry about not having scavenger and sleight of hand, because I need this combo in order to play the game certain ways that I want to play it. And that brings me to the point of the video. The game should let me play how I want to play. And this isn't a thing about players saying, no, you can't use noob tubes or ACRs or the FAMAS or the PP90, and other people saying, oh, it's my game, I can play how I want. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the game letting me play how I want when it comes to the perks and the guns and the way people use equipment and other things in this game. For instance, the game doesn't let me play search and destroy the way that I want because of claymores. Claymores have always been a huge problem in search and destroy, as well as bouncing Bettys in World at War. But claymores have always been a big problem in search because everyone uses claymores. For the majority of players use claymores because they're insanely strong. You just put them down and you forget about it. It's going to get you an instant kill if someone walks near it and they don't have flak jacket, or if they don't see it with sit rep, or they don't have stalker. You have to have countermeasures in order to prevent yourself from being killed by a claymore. Yeah, you can throw a stun or a flash while checking a corner to see if there's a claymore there, but you're not always going to know where to check for the claymore, and you're not always going to have those stuns and flashes ready for you. And so the game doesn't allow me to play how I want, because in Black Ops, I need to have hacker if I'm going to play search and destroy. Otherwise, I'm always going to get killed by a claymore. That's just how it works. Everyone uses claymores because they're cheap, they're overpowered, and they're easy kills that don't require any skill or forethought. So I need to run Hacker and Black Ops in order to play Search. Otherwise, I'm just going to get killed by Claymores. I could run Flak Jacket to prevent myself from getting killed, but it still takes some damage. And also, if I'm running Flak Jacket, I can't run Ghost. So people using the motion sensor and heartbeat sensors, or you know, shit like that you need to protect yourself with for a Ghost or Assassin or like that. I don't have that because I have Flak Jacket taking up that spot. So, you know, people are gonna see me with the other overpowered camping stuff, and you know, Ghost and Assassin are the only way to combat those kinds of things. And so I'm putting myself at a disadvantage. So I need to run Hacker or Sit Rep. You know, I could run Stalker because that delays the reaction, and it also helps me aim down the sights and stuff. But that doesn't protect me from you know, knowing where the motion sensors are. If I'm running Hacker or Sit Rep in Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops, then I am able to notice where that equipment is, and that's not only good for, you know, being aware of it so you cannot be in that near that equipment, so you're not either getting yourself detected by sensors or getting yourself killed by Claymores or Bettys, but also, you know, Search players are they're bad players for the most part, and they're very predictable. If they throw up a Claymore, they're probably going to be within 3 feet of that Claymore, lying prone next to a doorway or something like that. You know, so these equipment give away their position, because if you have a motion sensor down, you're going to be close to the motion sensors, so you can see people that are being picked up by it, and you can get the kills. Also, if you put in a Claymore Betty, the enemy is probably going to be close to that, because that's just how bad players play. Bad players play with Claymores and bouncing Bettys, and they camp in a corner very close to their Bettys and Claymores because they protect them, because they don't have the skill or the map knowledge or what have you in order to make them be a good player. So they're just going to let the game play it for them as much as possible by hiding in a corner and putting down some overpowered explosive in a corner that you need to have a countermeasure for. You're not going to be immune to Claymores unless you make precautions against it with your perks, whether that be Flak Jacket or Sit Rep or Hacker, you know, whatever it may be. And in Modern Warfare 3, there's a lot of things that I also have to account for. And that's not just Search. If I'm playing Ground War, you know, there's always going to be an advanced UAV and a stealth bomber in the sky all the time, because there's a lot of kills to go around and everyone's using support, and there's no way to counter support. So I'm always going to be constantly getting killed by stealth bombers, and that's not how I want the game to be played. You know, I want the game to reward people for being good and not reward people for being bad. And unfortunately, Modern Warfare 3 doesn't do this. So you know, there are stealth bombers and advanced UAVs and support UAVs and ballistic vests that allow the bad players to suddenly have advantages that they didn't earn, and that's not how I want this game to be. So that makes it difficult for me to play the game how I want. And when it comes to Search and Destroy, I need to have Sit Rep or Stalker on to prevent me from getting killed by Claymores and Bettys, but you know, usually Claymores, which they're much more popular. And Bettys you can easily dodge by just lying prone after they get set off. But you know, Blast Shield doesn't do shit in this game, so that's not that you can't even put that in the equation. Also, because you need to run Assassin in Modern Warfare 3 in Search, because otherwise people are going to pick you up with their heartbeat sensors and motion sensors, because that's what the large majority of Search players use. They use the ACR with the heartbeat sensor and a noob tube, or in Claymores, you know, combinations of all the OP shit, you know, the bad players are going to use, and whether that be Search or Kill Confirmed or Domination, they're going to be using that, and I need to have countermeasures in order to prevent that. So it's not allowing me to play the game I want. But I want to use quick draw much more often than I do, but I can't, because I need Assassin to protect myself from the bad players using the heartbeat sensors and the motion sensors. You know, I need to put sit rep on in search to protect myself from all the bad people using their claymores and trophy systems and bouncing betties and motion sensors, and it's not allowing me to play the game that I want. And thankfully in Black Ops there's going to be other things within the Pick 10 system that will allow me to play the game in more ways than any other Call of Duty before. So that's really exciting, but with the return of Claymores and Betties and Noob Tubes, and with the addition of all this new stuff, we'll put more variables into the game that might not allow me to play the game that I want, regardless of how I feel about the things in the game. Um, Sometimes I might get forced to play the game in a way that I don't want to. So let me know your thoughts, and let me know how I'm doing. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.